What would you do differently as a loan officer if you had to start over?
So when it comes to the basics, nothing.
Okay.
Like everything I coach and teach in our signature boot camp that we call Launch is exactly what I would do.
Yeah, because it worked for you.
It worked. And it worked for me, but it worked in 2004. It worked for a group of loan officers in 2014. It works for a group of loan officers in 2024.
Yeah.
And I'm going to graduate 60 to 100 people from this program in 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children 18 plus, you are tuned in to Loan Officer Podcast with me, Dustin Owen. And with me today from the T-Lop team, I got Mikey, Rocky, Vinny. That's Marketing Mike, and our producer extraordinaire, Karina Mojica. Hey. What's going on, y'all? Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, what a great way to start our week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the T-Lop team back in the house, and we're going to be cranking through an episode. We don't have that much time because I actually have to hop on a masterclass that I'm doing for the Great Lakes Credit Union Real Estate Network Association.
Jeez, that's a long title.
Yeah, it's super long, right? But, you know, I love helping all mortgage originators, regardless if you're with a credit union, you're in a consumer direct call center, you're working a bank, a broker, an IMB. So I love my credit union people, and shout out to Rick over at ArchMI. Rick actually reached out to me probably a couple months ago, and he's like, hey, Dio, we're doing this event. We need someone to close it out. We want it to be a salesperson. We'd love it for it to be you.
Nice.
I was like, well, hell to the yeah. Right? Because masterclasses done virtually are super easy for me to do. Mm-hmm. And it's something that I don't have to charge for.
No.
Right? So as long as they let me get on there and talk about the show, talk about our coaching company, talk about the new career advisory services that we launched, then I'll hop on for any company out there. I don't see any organization that tunes in. And I have probably 5 different masterclasses to choose from. I have 3 different keynotes to choose from. And, you know, it'll be a little bit of dealer's choice.
Yeah.
But
pardon the plug.
What's that? Pardon the plug.
Well,
yeah, well, we're going to do a little dealer's choice, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Before we get too far into today's episode, though, let's take a pause so that way we can hear from today's show's sponsor. But when we come back, I don't know what we're talking about. Right, this is pure dealer's choice. We're going to kick it over to our producer extraordinaire, Special K, Karina. And Karina's going to go ahead and kind of lay the foundation, Mike. She will, as JC used to say, wind us up and let us go.
Nice.
But first,
I'm scared.
Here's this. Y'all, something big is happening at Lower Mortgage. And if you're paying attention to this industry, you've probably noticed. In just the last month alone, Lower has added some serious horsepower. We're talking top producers representing over $350 million in volume. These aren't rookies kicking tires. These are heavy hitters who've done their homework and made the move. That should tell you something. On top of that, Lower just acquired Movoto, a top 5 real estate portal with over 150 visitors just last year. Before that, they brought in Neat Labs, and now they're launching Lower OS, a next-gen mortgage platform that's cutting loan delivery times down to 10 days. This isn't a company standing still. Lower doubled their volume last year, and they're projecting another 40 to 50% growth this year. The best in the business are taking notice, and they're voting with their feet. Here's the reality. The companies that are going to win in this market are the ones investing in technology, building real infrastructure, and competing at scale. Lower is doing all of that. They're going head to head with the Rockets of the world, and they're built for originators, not against them. If you're a producer who wants to be a part of something that's actually going somewhere, not just surviving, but growing, this is the moment. Lower Mortgage, the momentum is real. All right, we're back, Karina. I'm gonna kick it over to you. Dealer's choice, okay? So you get to decide, and maybe it's a little bit of what some of our fans have been writing to us, either through commenting on the YouTube channel or DMing me, or I should say DMing us. If you're DMing, you're probably gonna be on Instagram, and that isn't us, right? Because you're on that, I'm on that. Karina's sister, who also helps us with social media, Ari, is on that.
Yep.
But if you're messaging, you're probably on LinkedIn. It's going directly to me, right? So nonetheless, Karina, what do you have us discussing as today's topic?
Today's topic is, what would you do if you had to start all over?
Like in life?
Yes.
Like run away from home, not have kids? Like, where am I
Just-
trying to go with this?
Let's say you didn't become a loan officer, or like, would you choose a different career path? Would you go a different way? Like, what would you do? What would you do? Like, what
Well,
would you do differently?
Okay, if I didn't become a loan officer, I don't know what I would do. Honestly. Like this career has
That's the episode,
been,
folks. We'll see you later.
But like this career has meant more to me, more to my family. Hell, I don't have grandkids. It has meant more to them. The grandkids who don't even exist.
Aw.
And it's something that I love to do.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I would do anything else. Like I tried to do advertising. I think I would have loved to have been a copywriter and gone and worked in like Madison Avenue in New York City. The problem was I was always money motivated, and copywriters don't make shit coming out of college.
And imagine now, like with AI,
Whoa,
the
correct.
copywriting career
Correct.
it will dissolve.
Yeah, like
It's
me being
crazy.
47 years old, I'm finally like
Yeah.
reaching the peak of my career.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden I have this like this robot that's going to come after everything I've been working so hard for.
Yeah.
What did, can I ask,
yeah.
like, what did you like see yourself being in high school? Like, 'cause
Yeah.
it wasn't, I'd imagine you always wanted to be a loan officer. Like,
No, nobody. No, nobody's a strong word, okay?
Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to be up at United Wholesale Mortgage next month.
Okay.
So hopefully I get to see and spend a little bit of time with Matt Ishbia. Matt Ishbia, I was thinking about this morning. Like, he's second generation mortgage. Maybe he grew up saying, I want to follow my dad's footsteps. But honestly, I know a lot of people who are second generation mortgage, like shout out to the Manglardi brothers. Like their dad
Yes.
was a mentor of mine. I have Ben Naranjo with CMG up in Boston. Like shout out to Ben. He's second generation. And all three of those sons did not want to do mortgage, right?
Yeah.
That's not what they wanted to do. So no, in high school, it wasn't that I didn't want to do mortgage. What I wanted to do was make money. Like, and I'm curious, Mike, if you were similar. In high school, I knew whatever I did, it had to come with like unlimited income potential.
100%.
And I've always been a little bit of a hustler and entrepreneurial, like whether it was selling Jolly Ranchers and blow pops in middle school, or whether it was I tried to once in high school / college, I bought a 1-900 number, and then we're trying to like use email marketing to get people to call this 1-900 number.
Oh, wow.
But it wasn't a sex number because my girlfriend would like not date me if she knew that her boyfriend had a 1-900. So our 1-900 number was for internet tips.
Yeah, I
Like
love
if you
that.
wanted tips on how to
That's
use the
so cool.
internet for $1.99
That's
per
a
minute.
hustle. That's a
Oh,
hustle.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
So,
funny.
I mean, I used to buy baseball cards by the box.
Yeah.
And I'd have like a garage sale where I'd try to sell the packs. The problem was I'd open half the packs myself. So at best I would like break even. So no, I don't know if I knew. I knew I liked people. So I'd tell people like, I'm going to go into HR because I just thought it was working with people. Then I realized what HR does. And I was like, oh, hell no. Like this is not what I want to do, which is crazy because I did HR for basically 15 plus years.
Yeah.
When I was at Waterstone Mortgage, like we had an HR department, but I was, of my three partners, like I was the guy that was collaborating with them.
When did it
yeah.
click though? When did it click when you said, because like you just mentioned HR, when you said, I don't want a 9-to-5 where I'm working for someone else and I want to be my own boss. Like, was that an aha moment? When did that happen? Because wanting to work in HR, like that's a career. That's a 9-to-5.
Correct.
Right?
No, I graduated college, degrees in advertising and public relations, and it was, I did like 5 or 6 internships in college. And I tell the young kids today that I mentor, like, it was the best thing I ever did. It taught me 6 things I didn't want to do for a living.
Yeah.
But it was amazing. I mean, I worked for NFL Europe. I worked for the local country radio station. I worked for interiorsunlimited.com. It was like the first like e-magazine.
That's cool.
That's when I learned I really don't like Photoshop.
yeah.
Right? I don't really.
Meanwhile, we love it.
Yes, correct.
Right.
Yeah, you and Karina love
Yeah,
Photoshop.
yeah.
Me, not so much. But I didn't mind getting on the phone,
Yep.
working out a trade
Yeah.
with another business owner, where back then we were swapping banner ads. Like, hey, I'll put a banner ad on my site if you do a banner ad on your site. So I liked that part of it. So it was probably around in college with those experiences. And then it was my first sales job. So my first job out of college was a sales assistant. Did that for like a year. Then I was like a junior account executive for a year. Then I left that job to go chase more money. working for a local TV station. That's when I was like, okay, this is where I need to be. It was 100% commission. I was 24 years old.
Solid. Yeah.
And I never looked back.
Yeah.
Right. I never looked back, because if I'm going to bet on somebody, I'd rather bet on me, because I can control how early I wake up, how many hours I put in, and how much I care about the work I do. And it was on like Donkey Kong, as they say, after that. Now, I'm curious. Well, I'm going to ask Mike to answer some of the same questions, but I'm almost curious if I were to start over as a loan officer.
Right.
Like, I bet our audience would love to hear that.
Yeah.
Like, knowing what I know now, right? Funding. I mean, I've funded thousands of loans in my career.
Yep.
Right. And billions of dollars in production have we put through our machine, and, thousands of originators have I helped shape their careers. Hundreds I've coached, like, personally. So knowing what I know now, what would I do different? I think I'm going to answer that next, but I would like to know, because Mike, like, let's walk through this. I'm going to have you answer some of the same questions I just did.
Mm-hmm.
You started your academic career at UCF, go Knights. Then you went to Florida State, go Noles, graduated from Florida State. But even in high school, like, you were a little bit of a leader back then, right?
Yeah, I was voted best leader, senior superlative at prom.
Nerd.
Yeah. No, I was. And I was senior class historian in elementary school. I was vice president of the elementary school in 4th grade. So I always had that leadership trait. But for me, I'm conservative. I'm pretty conservative with my money. So 24 years old, I started American Made Vodka. Okay.
At 24.
At 24
What did you
years
do
old.
coming out of college?
So I always worked jobs. I was in a golf course right before college. I was in a golf course. Long story short,
To become a golf pro?
Yeah, I was an assistant golf professional, and I was the golf ambassador.
Okay.
And I would go around to hotels and give cards that had my name on it. And anytime a card came back, I would get $5. I designed that program, pitched it to the general manager. He loved it. And I just went on, and I became Mike, the golf ambassador. So
before you were Mikey Rocky Vinny,
I was Mikey Rocky Vinny
or marketing Mike.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I went to college, and I actually was an internal videographer for a company called Pat Live. They sold virtual phone numbers, and very successful. And they had virtual receptionists that would answer phones for you. So after that, so a little bit of videography, always into music. I was doing music. I went right out of college, and I put myself as the operations manager for my dad's IT company. Learned a lot about search engine optimization. I still skewed marketing, but I was running the ops. So I was in charge
What's your degree in?
Legal studies.
Okay.
So I was social sciences and legal studies. I was going to be an attorney.
Okay.
So we dropped that. It just wasn't me. It wasn't a good fit for me. I like to be creative. And I like to be in full control. Coming out of college, you have to put in a lot of time as a peon when as an assistant attorney or a legal assistant, and you kind of work your way up through the ranks. And I wasn't patient enough. So went through all that. Needless to say, my dad and I butt heads. Usually father son in business. That's what happens.
And his dad's a big dude. By
Yeah,
the
he's
way.
a big dude.
You don't want to butt heads with him.
Yeah, he's the real deal. I left and I became a search engine copywriter. So it's funny that you said you wanted to be a copywriter. I became a search engine copywriter for a small marketing agency that was just starting. And
was all that before you turned 24?
Yeah, all that was before I turned 24. Now I'm 24, so search engine copywriter.
Well, not now.
No, right.
Now
No, now I'm
10 years
30.
older.
Now I'm 35.
Okay.
But let's say in the timeline,
Yeah.
search engine copywriter.
Yeah.
I'm just turning 24. One of our clients was actually ABC Liquor.
Yeah, if you're in Florida, ABC
it's
Liquor.
a big, huge.
It's a premier liquor
chain
store. Yeah.
in the Southeast, and I had just started this vodka company on the side. Again, I'm conservative, so I always made sure I had a 9 to 5 while I had my side hustles running.
Okay.
And sure enough, the guy had a conversation with the actual owner of this chain, and he got my vodka in, and we did pretty good. Ran out of money with that. In the meantime, there was a vacancy at the marketing agency for web developer. I knew nothing about code. I spent every night, all night for about 6 months learning just front-end development, HTML shit. Karina's heard this story. HTML, CSS. My wife said that I would wake up and I would talk in code. Yeah, in the middle of the night, I would just start mumbling
That's
code.
crazy.
Yeah, she said it was really weird. But so I learned code. Then there was a vacancy for graphic designer. I had taken a Photoshop course in college, but I jumped in and took some more courses for graphic design. just got this tool belt, right, in the marketing suite, managed some ad programs at that agency. I just learned a lot. Sure enough, I became a heavy hitter in a big marketing firm local to the studio, actually. They picked me up as the director. So I was a director of a huge agency. 7 months in, said, not going to do this anymore. I'm going to go on my own. That's when I fully severed all ties. I went on my own, and the rest is history. I had the marketing agency. I built the vodka company. I had the golf cart manufacturing. Recently, we just acquired the fleet service company. We have a spray supply company. So I just love building systems and making a dollar. Nowadays, though, the last thing I'll leave you on with this story is nowadays, it's like I was always bad at finding the quickest path to a dollar. So currently, that's where my mindset is. I'm finding quicker paths to earn that dollar.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, because the question Karina posed was if you had to start all over again, what would you do? What would you do different, or what would you do the same?
I would want to find a quicker path to a dollar.
Okay.
Just understand that building these robust systems out of the gate for a startup isn't necessarily a requirement. Find the fastest way to the dollar. Store it in my cheeks for the season for when it comes, so that I don't need investors to come in and buy company X, and I don't need to have shareholders in company Y, because that's where I'm at right now. I'm kind of at the mercy of shareholders in all these different ventures outside of the agency. So if I could start over, I would want to learn a quicker path to a dollar, stash the money away, and now have full freedom of where I plug that capital.
So interesting that you said that. So literally right before we went to the studio this morning, I was making my third call of the morning.
Yeah. And
these are all career advisory services. So you just helped us launch, like fully and officially, T-Lop's Career Advisory Services. And I'm freaking loving it. Mike, I'm talking to 3 people a day right now.
Love it.
And it's just giving advice. And you never know what's going to come in. It's kind of like, potpourri. I came into today and I say, Karina, I don't have anything like that I think we should do. I want you to pick the topic, and let's, pull from what our audience has been asking of us, and let's give them some of it.
Yeah.
But the advice I gave. So this guy didn't need a new company. He just landed with a great spot. Shout out to Preferred Rate. He has a good local leader, something I care a lot about. Like anyone who tunes in, you need a great local leader. He has that. So he has his built-in mentor. He's found a good company to work for. But he's like, where do I go? I'm trying to build out this referral network. And I had 2 pieces of advice. This guy's not yet all in on mortgage. He's still trying to do his auto mechanic job 9 to 5.
Yeah, that's
I'm
hard.
like, look, it's going to be very difficult. Unless you're willing to work 75 hours a week and you're working 2 full-time jobs, it's going to be very difficult. He's like, great, I need to hear that. Second piece of advice was building out his referral network. And he starts throwing some high-level stuff out at me. I said, no, we don't do that yet. We don't do it yet.
Yeah.
Sure, you need a CRM. Sure, you need to be, leveraging services like Barry Habib offers through MBS Highway. Sure, you need Mortgage Coach and reach out to Dave Savage for that. Sure, you may want to do this with AI and this with Meta and this with a website. I said, but none of that matters if you haven't built your foundation, right? And it's something that if I were to do something all over again, this is something I would not change. And it's similar to what you just said about being quick to the buck.
Yeah.
Like what worked 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago still works today. This is a people business. You have to go out and build your network of referral sources. You have to get out there, market yourself, have lots of face-to-face meetings, attend many networking functions, ask for the business, make friends, move on.
Yeah.
And that was my advice. I go, until you're funding 30, 40, 50, 60 loans a year where you're generating 10, 20, 30 leads a month, and they're all coming from people you have met face-to-face that you know, I go, don't worry about everything else. It's outside noise. That CRM is not needed if you don't have enough referral sources.
It's going to take your attention away
100%
from building the referral network that you need to make the buck.
Yeah, like vibe coding is amazing. And building your own website is awesome. And having this CRM and this and that. I go, but not until you have a solid foundation.
Agreed.
I go, you take the $150,000 to $250,000 that you're making per year. Now you invest in things like building a team. Now you look at, hey, does my website good or is it great? Am I doing enough on Meta to maybe retarget some of my leads and some of my referral sources so I do a better job of staying top of mind?
Absolutely.
So it sounds like you learned very similar to that. No, I like that.
Would you now going back to it, so would you be an LO? I mean, if you had to start all over, would you be on the LO path?
Like, what else am I going to do? Like that's like, is there any, I don't want to be a cop. I don't want to be a teacher. I don't want to be a firefighter. If I had all the money in the world, I would love to go teach like history and economics at the high school level and coach baseball and football.
Yeah.
Like that would be badass, but I'm way too money motivated to do that.
But to build the life you've built, right? Because you're obviously successful, you got some pennies stored, but
I just took my family to London
incredible.
for spring break.
You have financial freedom.
Like I got to go to Daytona Beach for a weekend because my parents sat through a timeshare seminar.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm grateful for it.
That's
like
awesome.
What cool memories. They had to go sit for 4 hours through a timeshare and we got to spend 2 nights anymore, by the way, we call it Dirt-tona. So it's not even like the beach.
No offense. That's our stomping ground, dude.
I'm not from Daytona, so.
Well, you like Daytona though, right?
I used to when I was younger because that's all my mom would ever take us to.
Oh, so you're not a big fan. All right, scratch it from the record.
I really like Ormond, though. Ormond Beach is my favorite beach.
Yeah, so Ormond Beach, for those that don't know, and you're in Central Florida, it's just north of Daytona Beach. It's for old people, but it's really pretty. Us locals go to New Smyrna Beach. Like, locals go down.
That's the fancy Daytona.
School, yeah.
That's
nice.
Well, it's not dirty.
Right.
That's why we call it Dirt-tona.
No, but that's like Shark City.
Yeah, that is.
Well, it is the shark capital of the world.
Do you
surf?
surf?
Yeah, that's horrible.
I know how to surf.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, as a kid, I surfed here and there.
That's cool.
But no, I was too busy playing baseball and football to actually go out to the beach enough to ever be good at it. But I'm probably a better snowboarder than I'm a surfer. Yeah. And I grew up in Florida. So figure that one out.
That's interesting. Yeah.
No, let's do this. I'm going to take one more pause.
Yeah.
I'm going to let Karina go ahead and slide in a message from one of our advertisers. And when we come back, what I'm going to talk about is as a loan officer, what would I do?
Yes.
If I had to start all over again.
Yes.
And we'll wrap it up there.
Cool.
All right. First, check this out from one of our advertisers. What if one trip could elevate your personal brand for the entire year? On April 14th and 15th, our friends over at First Home IQ are taking loan officers to Washington, D.C. for the MBA's National Advocacy Conference, which happens to be my favorite event of the year. But let's be clear, this is not about politics. This is about an opportunity for leadership and visibility. Only 1 in 8 next-gen buyers trust loan officers, and 6 out of every 10 feel the housing system is rigged against them. Building trust happens locally in how you show up, educate, and listen. But it only happens nationally when you show your market that you're on the Hill advocating for policies that protect them. Here's the game plan. Weeks before going to DC, you're going to be creating content. The content's going to be about why you're going, why affordability matters in your market, why first-time home buyers need better solutions. Now, when you're in DC, First Home IQ is going to be bringing in a professional video and social media team. You're going to walk away with video reels, behind-the-scenes content from Capitol Hill, direct-to-camera footage, content that positions you as a trusted housing leader in your state and local community. And here's the strategy. Most LOs talk about affordability. Very few show up on Capitol Hill to fight for it. When your referral partners see you advocating face-to-face with lawmakers, that signals leadership. Consumers trust individual professionals more than institutions. The mission is clear. This is a pivotal year for home affordability. It's a pivotal year for First Home IQ's mission, and it's the 250th birthday of America. We're aiming for LOs from every state advocating together for housing affordability and sustainable home ownership. You'll meet lawmakers. You'll learn how policy works. First Home IQ is going to give you the talking points. You'll know exactly what to say and why it matters. The visibility you create before, during, and after DC will reach your local market in a way no ad ever could. Washington needs more LOs in the room. Your state needs representation. Your borrowers need advocates. And your personal brand deserves elevation. This is a movement. This is your chance to sign up. Join hundreds of mortgage professionals. March on Capitol Hill. Go to Washington, D.C. Make sure your voice is heard, and here's how you do it. All you need to do is go to www.firsthomeiq.com/MBA advocacy. That is firsthomeiq.com/MBA ADVOCACY. All right, so we're back. By the way, our advertisers help keep the show running. Mm-hmm. Make sure that you're listening to their messages intently. If you're interested in becoming an advertiser or you want to sponsor the show, reach out to me. I mean, I'm DO at tloponline.com. You can find me on LinkedIn, first name Dustin, last name Owen. I pride myself on being highly, maybe overly accessible, especially on LinkedIn. So we've already established I can't think of something else I would rather do than mortgage.
Right.
Which is why I'm so passionate, I think, about this industry. But I'll give you an answer. I would have loved to move to Nashville in 2001 and gone into the music industry doing like, artist development, A&R type
yeah,
work.
That's cool.
Oh,
I love that.
That is cool.
There was a girl that I used to hang out with in college. In fact, she helped me get my internship at K92 FM, the country radio station.
I didn't even know you were an intern there.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah, dude, I interned there while also bouncing at the big country bar, 8 Seconds.
Yeah.
Which gave me tremendous access anytime there's a country concert in Orlando.
That's wild.
Because I had both the connections through the club and the bar, as well as connections through the radio station.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I'm a fan of country music, so it was a cool spot to be. No, this girl, her name is Joe Jamie.
Okay.
So Joe Jamie got me the internship. Well, she ended up moving to Nashville. Mm-hmm. By the way, I blew the internship. I freaking hated it. It was for the production. No, it was for the promotion department, and I couldn't get my ass out of bed to get to the internship.
Oh my
They had me doing things like go gas up the truck, vacuum out the RV, like sit here with these scissors and clip out these coupons that need to go in. Oh, I hated it. Now, as a business operator today,
we do that stuff.
But
I actually enjoy that stuff.
Oh no!
I
would have an intern do that.
I like helping
because it's vital crap that needs to get done.
Yeah.
I was there to. I don't know. I didn't know what I didn't know.
Yeah.
I was 21 years old. I was more cocky and arrogant than I am today, which is not a good thing. It's a good thing that I'm less arrogant and cocky today than I was then. But just imagine how bad it could have been at 20 or 21. I still shake my head. But anyhow, the story's about Joe Jamie. So she wasn't. She was like everyone's favorite, the darling of the promotions department. Then she gets to go on air some days, like when they're doing the morning show. Well, she leveraged her contacts that she had from the radio station, and took a job in Nashville.
Nice.
Dude, I follow her on Instagram. I'll put it to you this way. When Jelly Roll just won a big award, like a Grammy or something, he shouted out Joe Jamie.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Like when
that's
you
the
follow
recent
her,
one. That was pretty recent.
She's in New York. She's in LA. She is like living her Sex in the City life.
That could have been you.
And it could have been me. Yeah. So
you're not that pretty though.
No, and I don't like. Yeah, I'm not her, and she's not me. But I could have found like my own way there.
Yeah.
But I mean, she's with big artists, like big labels.
That's so cool.
But she's 25 years in her career.
We share that dream. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
To be like an A&R rep, like a rep.
Yeah.
It'd be so cool.
Yeah. Would have totally loved it. So
so let's
talk about the loan officer.
Yeah, let's go back to the loan officer.
More than 80% of our audience.
Yeah, because I wanted to ask it, and then you injected and said we were going to talk about it. What would you do differently as a loan officer if you had to start over?
So when it comes to the basics, nothing.
Okay.
Like everything I coach and teach in our signature boot camp that we call Launch is exactly what I would do.
Yeah, because it worked for you.
It worked, and it worked for me, but it worked in 2004. It worked for a group of loan officers in 2014. It works for a group of loan officers in 2024.
Yeah.
And I'm going to graduate 60 to 100 people from this program in 2026.
Do you have to be a people person to be an LO? Like to make those connections? Do you feel like you have to be a people person? Yeah, right?
Yeah. I think you got to like people. I think you got to like helping people.
Yeah. So if you're an introvert, is this maybe not the best career?
You know what?
Or are there ways to do it?
Two amazing originators that I know would both describe themselves as introverts.
Yeah.
However, their drive, their D on a DISC personality profile is so high that they are able to flip a switch and turn it on. Mm-hmm. It may only be for 3 hours a day. Yeah. And those 3 hours may drain their battery, but during those 3 hours, they do what they have to do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Makes
so
sense.
But I think ultimately, yes, you do need to genuinely like helping people.
Yeah.
You need to be a likable person yourself if you want to succeed at a high level. Doesn't mean you can't find success, just at a high level. So no, I would do all the things I coach and teach in that launch program. If anyone's interested in it, look, it's going to cost you $4,000. It's going to change your life.
Yeah.
Right? So you can go to our website. You can inquire about it. What I'm really wanting to do more of is I want to find like 6 companies that have 30 or 40 originators that they want to put through this program, and I can get that cost down in half, if not lower, per originator. I just need to find those companies that care enough about their originators that they want to turn them into their next top producers.
Describe like which originators those are. Like how many units are they doing? Like
no, they got to be full-time.
Okay.
They got to be professional.
Yeah.
They got to be in growth mode.
Yep.
Because you can find someone who wants to grow, but if they're not full-time and professional, it ain't going to work.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people who are full-time and professional, but they don't care to grow. So you got to have that all three checked. And if you're not funding already 30 loans a year, yeah, this program's for you. Like this program is for you because it's going to give you what you need in order to start funding 5, 7, 12 loans a month. And then from there, we'll introduce you to Elite and teach you how to build a team.
Yeah.
But coming out of it, we just look at launch. So I would do everything I teach in that program, which is this. I would reach out to my entire database. These are friends, family, ex-coworkers, and neighbors, people I would invite to my wedding, people that I send holiday cards to, or my wife does. She sends holiday cards to them. And I would let them know I need their help. Their help would be this. Recommend, refer, give me the name of a realtor, another realtor, a builder, or a financial advisor. Cool. I'd create a list. I then would reach out to those people to introduce myself. And I would look for ways that I can provide them value. What does value help them win? How do I help them win? I don't know. Maybe I need to meet with you. But I would then have a list of 200 targets, and I would old school, face-to-face, belly-to-belly, coffees, beers, lunches, etc., build out my network. And every time I would be there, I'd be, who do you know? Who do you know? Who can you introduce me to? Right? Gratitude, compliments. Scale it. Right? But here's what I didn't do coming out of the gates that I would.
If you're a licensed originator who's closing loans, but you're not consistent, this is for you. If you're brand new or just looking for motivation, trust me, this is not for you. Most LOs don't need more information. They need structure. They need proven processes and somebody to hold them accountable. T-Lob's Originator Coaching gives you weekly live coaching, scripts top producers actually use, and step-by-step business systems you can implement immediately. Not someday, we're talking day one. You're not watching videos alone. You're executing in real time with other originators who take this seriously. Right now, you can try it free for 2 weeks. That's 2 full weeks for free. You'll sit in on live coaching calls. You'll get access to the frameworks and see exactly how top producers run their business. If it creates clarity, if it creates momentum, or even if it puts wins on the board, you keep going. If it doesn't, no worries, you can cancel. No pressure at all. Click the link, start the 2-week trial, and finally, build this like a business, not a side hustle.
The minute I started having success, I then would have a CRM. I then would start doing some kind of like mining of the data, whether it's a drip campaign to prospective home borrowers or even a drip campaign to real estate agents, right? Like I can have marketing and a marketing strategy that goes out to them. I wish earlier on I would have big game hunted. I didn't. I thought very singular as a loan officer.
Like home builders? Like big game hunting?
Big game hunting would be, I'd go after small banks and credit unions that don't do FHA and VA loans and build a relationship with them. Even if I had to legally pay them 50 basis points to help me co-originate that loan. It's called TPO, third-party origination. Why not have 3 banks and 2 credit unions and within 50 miles of where I live and work, referring me 2 to 3 deals a month? Right? Even if I have to make 50 basis points less, that's big game hunting. I'm still going to meet more realtors in those transactions, and those people are going to be my past clients. Well, when those realtors refer me business, I don't have to pay their credit union or the bank. When those past clients come back to me, I don't have to pay their credit union or the bank. Right? So that's big game hunting. Not being afraid to go into a real estate office. Coach Ross for us did this amazing. Coach Ross in his heyday was funding 400 units a year.
Wow.
Every single year. He wasn't afraid to go into a real estate brokerage and partner with them financially. Hey, look, I'd love to help co-sponsor or market for your leads. What are you currently doing? Have you thought about doing this? I'll pay for half.
Yeah, that's a strategy I'm familiar with. I like that strategy a lot.
Yeah, but it's a difficult one. There's a slippery slope there, right? In a way, someone could say that's also how whores operate, right? You're basically going out and saying to real estate agents, well, I make myself for sale, or you make yourself for sale. Can I buy you? right? And it's like, is that a real relationship? Are they partnered with you or are they using you?
Yeah.
And is it really just quid pro quo, pay for play, which, I mean, RESPA Section 8 has a big issue with.
Yeah.
But there's a way to do it legally. And for the first 10 years of my life, I probably turned my nose up to it. And I didn't think big enough, and I would have thought bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So like thinking bigger, quicker, like that big game hunting, I would have been doing that by year 3.
Yeah.
I didn't learn it until year 23.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't start doing database management until probably I was already funding 100 units a year. Right back then, my average loan size was 260,000. So it was 26 million. Today, I'd be doing almost 40 million, 50 million based on the units that I was doing. But,
and lastly, invested in a coach.
Well, yeah, right.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I did that in the right time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I had a really good mentorship and a great company early on that got me through my first 3 years. And then by about year 4 is when I really started attending conferences, paying for consultants, hiring coaches,
Right.
Reading books.
And that
you know
probably helped you take it to the next level.
Yeah, I would have started reading books earlier.
Yeah.
Like, hey, if someone said, hey, what would you have done earlier?
Me too.
I didn't start reading books until I was 18 years into my professional career.
I turned my nose up at him. I don't know if that was the same for you. I turned my nose up. I said, no, you can't teach me nothing.
Well, I was allergic to reading.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, this
awesome.
dates back to middle school and high school.
Yeah.
Pretty sure my mom read To Kill the Mockingbird for me and then just gave me like the Cliff Notes version. Yeah. I don't, I'm not proud of that, but that is exactly how my high school and college careers went.
That's awesome.
I think that those are things that I would do, but there's nothing like, oh, you got to do this with Meta. Oh, you got to do this with AI. No, you got to be on Facebook. And you have to be understanding how to leverage AI today so that you're a fast follower and an early adopter.
Keep up with the tech.
Yeah.
You have to.
You 100% have to. There was one other thing that I wish I would have done.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I would have started podcasting earlier. I wish I would have started my YouTube channel way earlier.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like we're 6 years into this and we're still figuring shit out. And we're 6 years in and we're still good, not great, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Imagine if we would have started this in 2016 and not 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Those extra 4 years
would have been a game changer.
Yes.
You would have been an early YouTuber.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that was, maybe that's why Joe Rogan's better than us.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, he just started so much earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That must be why.
Yeah. You know, I'll end on this because it's kind of topical, but I know we have to wrap things up so I can hop on that call with the Great Lakes Curran. Curran, Credit Union Real Estate Network. Yeah, but it's the Great Lakes like chapter, so it's not like the national.
Yeah,
Anyhow, I was talking to my buddy Dave Savage last week. I actually did some content with Dave.
Cool.
And Dave and I probably talk and text monthly at least. And we support First Home IQ. I love his product, Mortgage Coach. But Dave used to love to tell people, he's like, oh yeah, you don't know Dustin yet? Yo, he has the second best YouTube channel.
That's awesome.
Because his Mortgage Coach YouTube channel is a really good resource.
That's awesome.
So I'm talking to Dave. He's like, dude, I can't say that anymore. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, you have more subscribers than me.
Number one.
Yeah. He's like, he goes,
one.
I won't say that out loud to them.
Oh, that's
he
hilarious.
Goes, but I'll tell you behind the scenes.
Oh, that's great.
But I was like, no, I go with Dave. Here's the deal. I think we have like 1.6 million total views on YouTube alone.
Yeah.
Now he doesn't have the Spotify or the Apple the way that we do.
Right.
But I think you have like 2.1 million total views.
Oh, that was nice of you.
Yeah, but he goes, Dio, but I started mine in 2008. You started yours in 2020.
wow.
That's true.
Right? So then I was
Yeah.
like, shit, Dave started his in 2008. What if we started ours in 2008? What would that even look like?
Be wild.
Right? I think that's the lesson.
We'd have Ferraris by now.
We probably would. Although I'd never buy a Ferrari. You
Really?
would you?
I would. I'd buy a Ferrari Spider.
Douchebag mobile.
$250,000.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I've made over $1 million.
What's your dream car? Real quick before we end.
Per year.
What's your dream
Wait,
car?
I think I remember this. A '64 Chevy.
Yo, that's
No,
my
you
girl.
didn't.
I want
Great
I
job.
want an Impala.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
I want a 64 Impala.
That's cool.
On small tires, drop top, drop down, crushed velvet, 410s in the back. I mean, I want the hoopty ride from the 1992 Snoop Dogg Dr. Dre video. I want the three-wheel motion. I want it all.
Yeah.
So to me, that'll be like my beach cruiser.
That'd be cool.
Like one day I'm gonna live half my life in St. Pete Beach, and then half my life out in Frisco, Colorado.
Yeah.
I'll have like my Ford Explorer out in Colorado.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have my hoopty down at the beach where I don't have to
That's
go that
awesome.
far. I'm gonna
Perfect.
hit three-wheel motion.
You're,
Yeah.
dude, you're such a deep soul. I love this.
The deep soul.
You're a deep soul.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be the old white dude where I'm like, yeah, I'm hitting the switches for the bitches. Watch this. No, where was I going on? You totally sidetracked me on. You said Ferrari. 'Cause
Yeah.
I said
Then you
what
call
if-
me a douchebag.
Yeah. I said, and I said, I couldn't do it. I drove a Porsche Cayenne for like a decade.
Yeah.
And I loved that car. And Lamborghini has a very similar, it's like a soccer mom-mobile, but it's still a Lambo.
Yeah, the Urus.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
actually what Neil
Urus
Dinker
is-
drives.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we had Neil on
That's
the
a good
show.
car. A
Yeah.
couple guys in my neighborhood have it. It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I drive a Ford Explorer today because I wasn't willing to spend more than $60,000
Yeah,
on a
but it's an
vehicle.
SRT, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's still fast.
You're welcome.
It's still fast. It still has a nice sound system. It still has leather interior, but it is a Ford Explorer. I drive my wife's Acura MDX.
Yeah.
It's a way better drive than my Ford Explorer.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. But no, I think that the one thing that we can take from this that I was going to share with the audience is most successful people they'll tell you, I would have started earlier.
Yeah.
That's whatever you're doing, they wish they did it earlier. They wish they did more. They wish they went all in sooner.
Agreed.
I'm pretty confident when I look back on T-Lop in 2 years from now, I'm going to say, I wish we went all in 2023, not 2026.
Absolutely.
But and whatever it is that you're currently doing, I'm gonna put it out there. Like, don't do it alone, right? Find a mentor, find a coach. It could be your branch manager. It could be somebody at your place of worship.
Yeah.
Or it could be somebody like what we offer at T-Lop's Originator Coaching. Like if you're in the mortgage space and you're trying to figure it out all by yourself, don't read a book.
Humble yourself and read a book.
Yeah, read a book. Subscribe to someone's YouTube channel, sign up for their newsletter, attend every free event you can get your hands on, and eventually pay for access.
Yeah.
Pay for access. I'm going to The Gathering.
Yeah.
Steve and I are going to The Gathering by Housing Wire in next month.
Yep.
Why do I go to that event? It's not cheap. I'm paying for access. I want to be in the room where it happens. I want to be around all these decision makers, and I want to get the information first when it's discussed.
Agreed.
And I want to be a part of it. Well, sometimes in life you have to pay for access. You do so by going to conferences as well as by joining coaching communities like ours. So, Karina, what a great topic. We should do this more
that was
often.
solid.
No, that
We
was
should
fun.
do this more often. Mike, thank you for the conversation.
Absolutely.
Per usual, I 1,000% enjoy our partnership. I'm grateful for you. And T-Lop Nation, man, keep tuning in. If you dig what we do, all we ask is that you share it. Sharing is caring, but sharing is what keeps us going and gives us the motivation to continue to get 1% better, bring you more content, better content, more consistent content. If you like what we're doing, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Give us a 5-star review. Load up the comments on YouTube. That's where we have fun when you start to comment. And if you're interested in anything that T-Lop is up to, it's all found on our website, which is tloponline.com. That's tloponline.com. That's where you can even figure out how you can join us on this year's T-Lop cruise. She's K Money. You're not K Money.
That's a
I'll
cool
take
one.
My
it.
daughter's K
Yes,
Money. I can't
manifest
use
it.
that. No, my daughter who's Kendall, she's K Money.
Special
You're
K,
special
bro.
K. He's Mikey, Rocky, Vinny. I'm Dio. You've just tuned in the Loan Officer Podcast. That's all the time we have for you today. But we do look forward to catching you on the next episode. Peace.